Right. Yeah, hello and welcome to this Banter Blitz show. I hope everything is all right on your end. I'm back from my vacation and I hope that stream is working fine. There were a couple of obstacles before starting it. For instance, an update of that streaming software, which I usually tend to not accept to not risk any possible screw ups, but I accidentally accepted that, and it has changed the whole design of that software tremendously. And I was like, ooh, hopefully that still works. So I hope everything is fine. Let me know if you see me and hear me all right. On top of that, of course, the software was not used for like a month, so some setups, yeah, something could be off. Let's put it like that. All right, so let's see what happens here in this game against a dangerous ride. We have an IQP position, and okay, yeah, he pretty much insists that I take on c6. Oh, I think I'm going to do that and try to put some pressure now on the half open c file against that pawn on c6. It's a backward pawn. So let's see, maybe knight a4, yeah, attack the pawn. And I would like to play something like bishop d4 c5, yeah, something like that looks good. Yeah, thanks for asking in the chat about my vacation. I really had a good time. About 3 weeks off. I still worked on my projects. Of course, I always do that, even on vacation. But yeah, it's good to do that in a good... it's just a very relaxing atmosphere if you're not at home and you don't have to worry about any typical everyday tasks that you have to do. So I try to trade off that bishop, the bishop on d4, and if he goes queen e7 now, I have bishop c5 for the trade. Let's do it. I'm happy to get rid of that. And now, what am I going to do? I can play knight d4 to attack the bishop. It's probably going to go bishop d7. But then I have knight b6, so why not? Okay, interesting. Just going to g6. Is he getting c5 in this position? Okay, knight b6, there's rook c7. It's not really helping. I would love to play b4, but don't currently see how that could work. Okay, try something else. Prepare rook d1. Maybe knight f5. Maybe he can play just c5. I have to watch the time a little bit, the time situation. Knight f5 is not so good, huh? Not so good. Yeah, not a fan of this position. I have to watch the time. I played a bit of increment blitz earlier today. And it's a bit of an adjustment if you all of a sudden only have 3 minutes without an increment. I have played a bit of chess in my holiday. I mean, just like the odd blitz game, but I haven't played any like a tournament or something like that. I would love to trade queens here. This is why I went queen f4. I can pre-move knight takes f4 here, but I don't think he will take, and he did not. Maybe d4 an idea. Yeah, come on. I have to speed up, really. I'm just so slow. Okay, that I'm happy to take. Let's take d5. Okay, wait. I take this, and now this one. I'm winning some material here, right? Oh, that's made. Nah, I completely lost the plot there. Yeah, thanks for playing Dangerous Ride. No, Mick, there's a question if I'm rusty after the break. I didn't really have a break in a sense that I was playing like almost every day some blitz video, some blitz games, but I was not able to record them properly on my vacation. Otherwise, I would have uploaded some to YouTube, but couldn't do it. I just don't have the equipment on holidays, and sometimes the connection is not so steady. Okay, I'm playing a grandmaster here from, I think this is Vietnam. Yeah, cannot pronounce the name. Can you see that? Not really. Yeah, Ngoc Chuang Son Wen, something along these lines. He's a 2600 GM, I think. Pretty low rating for his for what he's capable of. Maybe not a frequent blitz player on Chess24. So we'll see what happens. I'm playing a line here in the Nimzo with black. This line with knight f3 and g3. Oh, interesting. I don't know that one. Why can I not take here? That really good for white. Interesting. I'm playing a line that I analyzed back then for my Nimzo Bourguignon book. Interesting. Yeah, that was probably something that I should have considered a little bit more. That does not look good. Knight b2, he takes the bishop, and I don't have a tactic here. Something can go d5, bishop d5, queen g7. Not good. Yeah, that is not really nice. Ugh, not a good continuation. I should have thought about that. I mean, he's not a fool. It's just not giving me c4 for nothing. Nah, that's really bad. Yeah, I could have taken c3, but b takes. I haven't gained anything. So yeah, rook f8. Ugh. You can simply castle now and have an attack, and that's not the only thing. That's very bad, actually. So the position is pretty much toast. Yeah, white will get a very strong attack with e4. And it's not much that I can do about it. E d5, knight takes b2. I mean, he can still play that. And it's probably a lot better with taking on e6 now. So bishop takes. Yeah, I'm just under huge pressure here. Maybe I'm not immediately lost, like tactically forced loss, but it's pretty bad. This, in some cases, I might have ideas on the back rank, yeah, with a check. Yeah. Queen d5 is knight e5 probably. I don't know. Not good. He can still take g7 in that line. Mega Mats 69. I don't think this is better compared to what I did. Sorry for the sounds. There's some USB plug in, plug out. I don't know what exactly. Now, is there something that I can do with the back rank? I don't see it. Yeah, rook on b1 is a simple and good move. Cannot play rook c5 due to rook b8. And f6 he has a check. I don't know. I don't see a good move here. Yeah, there's just nothing. This is not good, but what can I do? Okay, if I take knight takes as mate on e7, but okay, I have to do that. And he has a mate threat here with, oh, this one. Okay, I'm completely killed there. No, that was a pretty bad game. I should absolutely not take on c4. That's just bad. Yeah, I should probably take on f3 here. And here, the problem is that it's essentially a double attack on the queen. Sorry, by the queen on the knight and on the pawn. And I can take, that was suggested after the capture, simply queen takes, and it's still a double attack. I could try that, but there's b4, and then I don't have a reasonable move. The problem is, the moment the g7 pawn drops, my position is just awful. It's just awful. Like when he took him, I'm never able to coordinate this, and my king never finds a good square. I can definitely defend better, but the position is pretty bad. Okay, now Digol, that's a very long username. Let's go for that. Digol Jimenez Vivanco, which is Diego, maybe Diego L. Okay, let's see. Well, a cool opponent, right? 2600 GM. A bit of a wasted opportunity to get a somewhat interesting game. This way I was just slaughtered without any fight, really. Okay, so let's see what Diego is doing, taking with the queen here. Okay. Yeah, this is interesting. I can play, yeah, like normalish, but you can also try for a quick knight g5 based attack here. And I'll try that. The move knight d7 is a little bit surprising, honestly. Okay, now, is there anything already here? Something drastic. Knight h7. This is not totally ridiculous in some cases. Here it maybe is, but sometimes this works. I could go f4 and then h5. What about h5 immediately? h5, they can take b2 as well. h5, yeah, no, that should work. f4 is a support. Yeah, let's do that. I have to watch out for the time. I'm just playing, yeah, too slowly. Yeah, I don't really have an alternative. But after the queen trade, my position is pretty okay. Now, how do we play? Bishop maybe over to f3. Black is okay, yeah, with something like b6. But I have to make sure that I'm not spending... Oops, I didn't want to castle queenside. I wanted to play rook c1. Okay. Okay. Wow. Okay, I'm not lost. That's the good news. It doesn't really not what I wanted. Yes, these are all chess books. I do have some non-chess books, but not many. I've actually sold or donated pretty much all of my non-fiction books at some point. I felt I will never read them twice, so I've given away hundreds, if not probably it's 4 figures of books in recent years. Yeah, I'm not happy here. This is not a good position somehow. Not a good position at all. Even knight e4 is somehow a move. I could have taken the rook. I was just not looking at this. Should just take the rook there. Okay. Yeah, the d pawn is a little bit weak. I mean, this is not... I'm not going to lose it anytime soon. And particularly not now, as he has walked into this weird trap of this rook. Okay. Yeah, it's actually... the knight on e3 is pretty strong. But it's not attacking much at the moment. Okay, I now see the real issue. The time is the issue. I only have 20-something seconds. So I'm going to... wanted to return the exchange to make it a bit simpler, but now he has just donated that pawn to me, which is generally nice. Will be very difficult with the time situation. Yeah, the best try is to play for checkmate for me. Ah, yes, he's got g3. Yeah, I have to be no, the rook is saying I'm completely panicking here. That's not good. Oops. Yeah, the time I have to really play faster. This was a terrible game. Yeah, sorry for that one. I was looking like a complete clown in that game. But my time management is just totally off. In particular, if it's 3 minutes, I have to play a lot faster there. I mean, I should just win the end game, but I had no time at all. So I need a 3-minute game to adjust to that. Let's go for this one. No, I'm really off there with the time management. So let's play this 3-minute game and see that my goal is just to be faster. Yeah, there was an endgame book question. I think that I'm going with my standard recommendation. That's the book by Jesus de la Villa on the 100 endgames you should know. That's very good for the for the basic endgames, and highly recommended. And then for the more sophisticated studies, the endgame manual by Dvoretsky is what everybody recommends, and rightly so. It's just pretty difficult, so it's not, should not probably be your first endgame book maybe. But it's possible, if you have the endgame manual, to basically study everything. It's very comprehensive, so it's just not easy. Yeah, you're going to struggle if you are completely new to the world of endings. Okay, so this one. The author is De La Villa, so like Villa, Villa. My pronunciation is probably complete rubbish, so sorry about that. Sorry about that, it's probably trademark Agatmato, right? Sorry about that. It was not intended. So I'm ahead on the clock. That was my main, or one main objective, to not be too slow. That's a bit of an annoyance there. I can simply take everything, but it's a bit risky. Maybe there is knight g5. Yeah. Those the knight jumps. I was playing the Dirty Harry. That was good to get, but man, it's not so nice actually. Knight g5. Now I'm covering h7. That was the idea. h5 is that Dirty Harry Sicilian line. That's the what's also here in the layout. That funky h5 line that I've written a chessable course on. No, that's not good. That's not good. f6 maybe. Ugh, don't want to do that. Not happy about this queen h6 stuff, but I'm currently like 2 pawns up, so I can afford to return one, but it's not f5. It's not my original intention. That looks good now. Gift me the knight. Yeah, now it's a double attack essentially, so we will trade queens. I can't even take f2. Yeah, thanks for the game. Why must I lose to this box? Complicated name. All right, now another 3-minute game. Beto Betun, candidate master. I just want to get into the flow of 3-minute again. Yeah, 3-minute without increment is really different animal than any increment blitz. Beto Betun. That's the flag of Guatemala. I wouldn't have known that. It's not playing, so I'm going to terminate that for the moment. Another 3-minute Priyanshu. Let's go knight f3. Let's get up to speed. E3 is my move against d5, but not against anything else. So what is he going to do? Priyanshu. No move? Okay, here we go. He's even slower than I am. That's remarkable, not so easy to do. Okay, this time we get a pawn recapture. We had that queen take line earlier. Okay, what I'm trying here is to trade the light squared bishop, and he actually allows that. I really don't mind it. The more minor pieces we trade, the more pronounced the weakness of this pawn structure will become. Not that it is a huge problem, but it can easily be one in the future. So yeah, bishop f6, the pawn on d5 is hanging, but so is the rook on a1, so I have to play the rook first. Now I'm threatening bishop to bishop takes f6, remove the defender of the d5 pawn. Let's see what he's doing. Nothing. At least nothing about this particular idea. So grab it. Does he have compensation? I don't think so. a4. The main danger here is that it's not enough material to win. Okay, if I take, it's got rook d3 coming, rook d1, might take, and then c4. I also have e4. I'm not sure about that. Maybe this is still the most promising. Yeah, Norway chess is starting today, the first super tournament after the start of the COVID crisis. We'll see what happens. I mean, it's a pretty unique situation after such a long break. Of course, as usual, Magnus will be the favorite, but we don't know how he's going to perform under those circumstances. Okay, now c4 is coming here. Knight to e2 is what I'm looking at. That forces c4. I have to take. It's not really totally clear if that wins, but I have to do something. It actually doesn't look right. I would just like to trade rooks, but I don't see how. Okay, let's do that. So we forced that. The position is better for white, but it's not clear if I'm winning. I mean, no, it's clear that I'm not winning. It's just not clear how much winning chances I do have. That's not a winning position for sure. I have 30 seconds. That's a problem. In general, knight against bishop is not a bad try on one side of the board. And now I'm not offering a draw. So knight g5 coming. And he's not fast. I mean, I'm not really worried so much that he will win on time. I could have taken f7 already. Rook d8, yeah, was stronger. But by now I'm winning on time easily. Thanks for the game, Priya Anshu, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, thanks for the game, Priya. Probably that's part of the name. Now, who is challenging me? We have... Okay, that's a changed username. Tricky. What about Yusuf? That's a new opponent. Let's play Yusuf. Let's go knight f3. I don't think so. There's a question by Worst Bishop if there's an explanation why so many German top players play the French, if there's some influence by maybe the chief German coach for the national team. I don't think so. I think there is this is more or less a coincidence. There are some cases, not with the current national team, but if you look at some players, like some almost decades ago, from East Germany, from the former German Democratic Republic, they were heavily influenced by Wolfgang Ullmann, the top player for a long time of East Germany. And he was obviously a huge fan and expert on the French defense, and many players adopted that. They simply copied what Ullmann was doing, not like move by move, but they just had this clear role model, and they played the same openings. And the same is also true for the King's Indian, which was also a trademark of Ullmann's, and therefore they adapted that. There are many East German players like Rainer Knark, Lothar Vogt. They're all in their 60s nowadays, but this sometimes happens, that there are openings or variations that get played by a group of players. In some way, this is nowadays true for some Chinese players. If you look at their opening repertoire, they frequently play the same lines, in particular the Petrov defense. You see that quite a bit. Okay, I can take a7. Yeah, do I want to take a7? Yeah. Did he just cast? No, king d8. I was just like I couldn't. Just like king d8. What? Obviously, it was not castling. I was still heavily irritated. My queen is attacked, so I should move it away. Yeah, I'm not sure that there's an influence by former German top player Robert Hübner. He did not really have that profound preferences for openings. Like with Ullmann, he always played the French. So, and Hübner always was a very versatile player. He played all kinds of openings. He's not particularly an opening expert, but he played a variety of lines. I know, Captain Obvious, yeah, Queen e7 checkmate, but I never claimed to be particularly sophisticated. Yeah, f3. Oh, I cannot help you. There's a question how to set up Lila 0 up for analysis. Unfortunately, I don't know. I do use the engine for analysis, but I use it in the cloud or on the cloud. On the cloud. so I don't have to set it up. It's just not running locally on my computer. Yeah, no, I'm crashing through now here against Yusuf with d4, d5. You can of course use Stockfish 12, which is a free engine and easy to install, and it does have neural network components, so it's probably a good alternative. Yeah, maybe I'm missing the quickest wins. That's really possible, but it's so overwhelming that you kind of lose track what's best. Bishop here, here. Stockfish 12 is just like a regular engine that you can use with almost any software that can host an engine, so to say. Like, yeah, what is there here? There are commercial programs, but there are also free programs to run engines. I know that there was a program called Arena some time ago. Did I play Batman already? I didn't, right? No, so let's take that. I hope he's not 3 years old. That would be really impressive. Probably not. Is it possible to teach a 3-year-old chess? I mean, just the rules. Probably, yeah. It should be possible. I don't have any kids and I never looked at this, but okay, I don't want to give up my bishop. I mean, I don't know if it makes any sense, yeah, to teach a 3-year-old, but no, I don't play against engines. There's a question if I've ever played any particular AI engine. Never. Yeah, white is just a bit better here in this position. He's a little bit more active. I cannot do much here. Probably have to defend this slightly worse position for a while. Absolutely. Ugh, not that. That was very stupid. Maybe I can go rook c6 actually. That was not planned, but that's actually very helpful. Because, wow, really? Why? Well, because I overlooked that this is covering b2. That is stupid. Okay. Not nice. But okay, we'll see. It is normally possible to hold this type of position. It's just not fun at all. I basically never play engines. Sometimes, and I also know nobody who does. It can be an exercise to play against an engine for positions where you know exactly what result should happen. For example, you have a winning ending or like a position from an ending that you know that is winning, or it is a draw, or it has a very clearly defined range of result, and then you can try if you can reach that result. Like, can you draw, let's say, the rook ending a pawn down or something like that? And that can be interesting to do against an engine, because it will pretty much play perfectly and you can see if you can reach the desired result. A free engine will probably be weak. No, Stockfish is the strongest engine actually. Stockfish 12. It's probably also stronger than Lila, what you can see at the moment, but we're not really talking about something that is relevant, like the difference between Lila and Stockfish 12. I'm already using Stockfish 12 quite a bit. He's offered me a draw. I will take that. It's pretty much, it's a bit pointless to try. It's just totally dead. Thanks for the game, Batman 2017. I kind of got into this pretty position where you couldn't do much. It was just not very attractive. Okay, playing this guy. Let's play. It's not clear how strong Alpha Zero really was. I mean, that is not an engine that you can just use and test. It was only playing this limited set of games. And I couldn't tell if how strong it is compared to what you can do on very strong hardware locally. I mean, not an expert on those things. No, the Botvinnik setup is not going to be covered in my upcoming Chessable course. No, not a single line has this. If you have gotten, or if you know, Savage, that was the guy who asked the question, if you know or have gotten the course by Samuel Williams and Richard Pelliser, it's called the Iron English, something like that. I'm not totally certain. That course has exactly 0 overlap with what I'm working on. There's, I mean, maybe 2% or something on the sideline, but it's a totally different approach. All right, so that's a bit strange, everything. Maybe I can misplace and yet another piece. Knight a5. I think rook b1 has to be played. Just want to get rid of the rook and then take on c4. And if I get to take on c4, that misplaced or sidelined knight. Wow, that's surprisingly difficult for me to pronounce. Might make sense even. All right, give me the bishop here, please. Gift me the bishop. And now my a pawn is going to run. Queen c7. Yeah. The sidelined knight. It's really a difficult thing to pronounce. It's really weird sometimes what, I mean, I will make errors or mistakes is a better word, in pronunciation anyway, but it's sometimes surprising what is difficult for me to pronounce, and bishop c3 was better. Just a double attack. And what's not, recently I watched a video on YouTube, and the person who recorded it is also German. And it was a car video. It was about a car, and he was referring to the typical metric unit of kilometer, and I thought his pronunciation was weird, and then I tried to pronounce it myself, and is kilometer Kilometer? I wasn't really sure. It felt completely wrong to me. So now I'm taking here, and he cannot take with the knight, as then the queen is hanging. But this way, I'm winning this knight. I'm not sure how he pronounced it. Kilometer? I don't know. It sounded wrong, but then I tried to pronounce it myself, and it also sounded wrong. Yeah, mile is a little bit simpler, in fact. At least in pronunciation, it's simpler. Okay, so lots of chatter. And I'm ahead on the clock. This is nice. Threatening mate. Okay, so we got a trade. Kilometer. Wow. Yeah, in any case, I'm probably doing it wrong. Yeah, just go with miles. Yeah. Check. I should just make sure that I'm not creating some stalemate. Yep. All right. Yeah. Thanks a lot. EG, I don't know. Difficult. Thanks for the game. Now, who else is on? Is there somebody new? Let's just check that a little bit out. But I don't think so. I feel I know everybody in the list. Maybe not this person, Madian. I lost against him twice already. All right. I do reply to the Twitch chat, right? I mean, not by typing. I can type actually. It's not that it's impossible, but I hope I address the questions. At least all that I see and feel is good to answer. All right, Madian. I actually take with the D pawn there usually. That was a bit of a slip. Not a problem, but I usually take with the D pawn. Okay, it does not seem to be so relevant. It's 3 minutes, yeah? Yeah. What the heck? Why is that a move? D5 is the bishop check. Okay. Yeah, this is of course just nothing at all, but I was a bit scared to lose control there early on after he hit me with e5. I don't want to give up f4. Bishop takes f4 is an idea, but maybe this one to attack g7 and then be ready to play king f3. Yeah, maybe if I get to d4 without any particular problem, I could be slightly better. Bishop on d4 is attacking both sides of the board. In particular, if I get to provoke b6, like bishop to d4, he plays b6, I have a4, a5. It could be a very slight advantage for white. It is, of course, really minuscule, but I can try. Rook c1, threatening bishop takes a7. Again, Captain Obvious, but it's It's a useful move anyway. Playing a useful move and having a smallish trap. Yeah, you see? Or did he actually have an idea? No, I don't think so. This is really annoying. I'm threatening rook b1 as well. So rook b1. And now, what do we do? Rook g7. I think I'm just fixing those pawns first. And then see what happens. Let's rook here. It's going to go rook e6. Maybe it's an idea to play rook e5 actually. He does not want to take. I don't want to give you a2. No, I don't like that. I didn't play that well, really. No. Nah, that was badly played. I'm just going back now. What's the time situation? Time is okay. Really? That looks strange. Why would you put it here? Okay, so this one. Rook b6 is not actually clear that the trade is a big issue. But I have to just be faster. 20 something seconds is not enough. Going for e4. I was thinking maybe rook a1. I just take g6. That's crazy. Really doing badly in those time scrambles. I just can take b7. That's also a lot stronger. It's made. I mean, the position was good, but like not doing a good job of controlling the game. Thanks for the game, Madian. Okay, that is a non-premium. I should definitely get them out of the list before I accidentally click one. Oops, now I accidentally clicked one. That is the problem. Why do people still do that? Probably not intended, but okay, let's play Yup. It's another 3-minute game. I'm slowly getting into that time mindset. I'm still a little bit too slow. Yeah, it's not a particularly great move, right? Knight takes, but they still people play that. Yeah, this is looking like a pretty neat Grunfeld type of position. I actually had bishop a3 already. That would have been absolutely strong. Okay. Queen f6, yeah, just takes, knight takes. He just about holds this. That's not fair. Stepping out of knight b6 with the tempo. So now knight b6, I can take e5. Well, yeah, I could have. It's not. Anyway, it's not bad, I think. We go e5 and queen e6. Yeah, question again, who's going to win the Norway tournament? It's just not very original, but I'm absolutely always betting on Magnus to win. It doesn't really matter what circumstances, what time control, whatever it is. I always think he's the favorite, and that's not something spectacular to say. Yeah, I really don't like this. The opening line that Black played here was pretty awful, and I did not refute it. C takes, knight takes is really not a good idea, and I somehow did not play it right. Try to get the knight over to d6. That would be really nice. But I think he has knight f4 with the tempo. No, he doesn't. Doesn't do that. It's really not doing all that much at all. So knight d6. Just step out of the tempo. I wouldn't even mind to take the knight on d5. Blundered h3 here. That's not good. Knight c2, yeah, okay. I mean, I could have taken here anyway for a pretty nice advantage, but I thought I have something better. Maybe not. This. Somehow this whole game feels like I'm not doing it right. Probably did not expect king e2. Yeah, that was not the best way, technically speaking. How do I win here? Come on, let's promote this thing. It was so useless. Oh, I hate my game here. That's just not good. Yeah, I've got 1 second. I'm losing this game on time. That's so ridiculous. Totally ridiculous. Yeah. That's great. Great. I'm just so awful. Just so awful. I really should play a little bit of non-increment blitz before those sessions here, because this is just totally idiotic. You just a piece up for nothing, for nothing. I can simply push the G pawn. I don't know. I don't know why I play like a clown here. It's just really, really awful. Anyway, so let's play another game and give more points to people. That's really bad. I saw Shelling in the chat, but I don't think he's challenging me. The nickname master. The nickname master. Nah, I want to win games like that. I mean, it was just completely ridiculously winning. Like, I mean, if you cannot win this kind of game, you should probably switch to something else. That's just awful. Okay, now let's see. Yeah, this is a pretty good line for white. It's not super awful, but black has to see about the b7 pawn. Usually queen b6 is played. Oh, this one. This is actually not so bad. It gives up lots of time, but the extra move queen b3 is not super useful. Yeah, now the actual move bishop d2 is totally useless. How do we play there? I have to regroup about everything. Really weird. Anyway, let's see. Maybe knight e2 and I get bishop b4 in. That would be nice. Well, let's trade this. We get this traded. That is nice. So finally I'm getting some kind of coordination. There's a question in the Chess24 chat by Girish. We can play, sure, if you haven't played me before. I maybe have overlooked that it's a challenge by a new player. I will look again after this game is finished. Yeah, I'm pretty happy that the dark squared bishops are gone. Now I can occupy e5 without the knight being in danger of being taken. f4 maybe. Black is still currently not able to solve this c8 bishop problem. Do I do that? I don't know. Don't like it. I have a good knight against a not so great bishop, but it's not so obvious how I'm making any headway. Maybe I should have thought about this a little bit longer. Yeah, he's playing perfectly now, yeah? Queen h4, not taking, and queen h4. Should have just taken, I think. Anyway. He's quite slow, which will probably decide the whole thing. After this, the queen has no square, not a single square. But I don't see how I can trap it. G6 is a threat. Okay. Rook H1 coming. Yeah, and I won this game. It was still a bit odd. Didn't really get to coordinate the position. Yeah, thanks for the game. Nickname Master. So, Girish, yes, let's play. Or maybe Giri Sharma, I don't know. Difficult. So I'm black. And let's go c4, e5. Okay. Let's worsen his pawn structure a little bit. A good idea often is b6 and bishop a6. Trying to put some pressure on c4. That's what I'm trying here. Rook d1 maybe to get d takes e5 into the game as an idea. Okay, no. Let's not get checkmated on h7. That would be awful. So he did not cover it, right? So I'm going to take that pawn. That was actually not well played because he can play c4 now and at least get a little bit of activity. Yeah. Okay, and bishop takes d4, queen takes d4, he will probably see. So this one. You should simply move the queen, like to f3 or so. And should be fine. Oh. Rook takes? Yeah, that I am happily taking a pawn on e3. He should be a little bit faster. The position is pretty much hopeless and you have to at least try to put some pressure on the clock. Yeah, d-pawn will do it. Not back rank mated him. It was good to have h6 in. covered. Yeah, thanks for the game, Girish Sharma, I guess is right. So, ist there anybody new here? Bauernfänger 15 oder 15. He's new. Let's play. I can go e4 for a change. Let's play the two knights variation. That's what I recommended. And keep it simple, 1e4. He's playing the main line. Knows some... Oh. Knows some theory, but then gives me the d5 pawn. Which is pretty generous. It wasn't necessary. So, check. I can also do this. The move queen to e5 is intriguing. Queen e5, attacking the rook and knight c7 coming. And also he's in bishop b5. Is there some tactic that I can play? I can also take and play knight c7. This is the easiest, yeah. Take it. I don't think I can save the a8 knight. That won't work. But I had an exchange and a pawn. That's good. Just stepping out of discoveries by the knight. He does not really have any active idea in this position. And if I just trade down without giving up any particular, giving up material or making any other huge concession, I should win this fairly straightforwardly. You can argue that there was no real reason to give up the bishop pair, by the way, what I did, but yeah, black does not have anything. The king should go, yeah, come on, that's a check. Where are you going now? Another check. Ja, that was too much. Danke für die Partie, Bauernfänger 15. It's very likely German, so it's probably right. Now, who is challenging me? Sergei Rachmaninov. That's a high-rated challenge. Let's see what Sergei is doing. Against my knight f3, I don't quite remember what his repertoire is. We have played it before, but I don't know that actually. The early capture, so we're going to probably go here. I'm not sure what his line is here. Yeah, thanks for the positive feedback on YouTube by Satyam, if that is right. Okay, and I'm getting the bishop pair. I always like that, but black's position is of course very solid. No, it doesn't take. Interesting. Sorry. If I go here, it's going to move it again? No. Okay. How do we play? It's actually an interesting question. I don't want to play... I don't want to play the knight and trade. He has two knights on e4 and f6, and they're basically doing the same job. It's this superfluous knight concept that was often shown by Dvoretsky, the famous coach. I know it's a very long night journey, but I think it was interesting to play like that. This knight doesn't have many squares, but I cannot trap it. I can go h4, knight e4, and then I take it, but that's not really great. I have some other ideas on this side of the board. a5. And this also introduces the idea bishop a3. Okay. This will win a pawn, eh? e4 is dropping. Queen f5, I have g4. What are you doing here? So there's a check. Okay, no, it's silly. Yeah? It takes the knight g5, and it's all of a sudden still in swindling mode. Don't like to trade the queens, but I don't see how I could avoid it. The time. I had to have absolutely not checked the time. The position is just totally dominating, but I have no time at all. Blundering d4, doesn't take it. Okay, I'm just too slow. It's just like what it is. The whole game was completely one-sided, and he's still not in good shape, even now after a couple of inaccurate moves. But I'm just too slow. That's what it is. Yeah, I'm just too slow. It's ridiculous, really. But anyway, I mean, all seriousness, yeah. I mean, how on earth can you get into this position and not lose? That really is ridiculous what I did here. Rook c2 is actually already over sophisticated. I mean, I can just do this, to keep the pawn, and you can more or less kick it in here. It's just like totally awful. Okay. So what else is here? Nobody new, I guess. Or MF Capello. No, that's a new guy. No, the game wasn't really crazy. I was just too slow. Okay, it's 5 minutes. Yeah. Okay. There's a good question there in the YouTube chat if this thing with superfluous knights, and yeah, it oftentimes they are called superfluous if they are protecting one another, and on the other hand, you say sometimes it's good because they support each other. And this is one of those cases where it really is very specific to the position. In some cases, it might even be a good idea to have the knights cover one another, and in some cases there is this idea of a superfluous knight. It is really very much depending on the specifics. And there's no simple rule or anything like that. Queen to a4, okay. I don't know, I play really awfully in those sessions here. I don't know why. I actually have changed the layout a little bit so that the board is a little bit larger now. I always felt like maybe the board is too small, and I just have problems with, I don't know, with seeing the board correctly, but it doesn't help. I'm just still playing crap. Anyway, so how do we coordinate this position somewhat, at least? I'm a pawn up, that's nice, but I have some problems here with my pieces. The knight on e7 in particular is pretty bad. Okay. Queen b7, rook c7, so I have to go here, and then he's got bishop c7. Oh man, doesn't even do that. Awful position. Knight c6, maybe. Okay, then I can take it, take b2, and hope to survive. Maybe. He's going for that. Okay. Not sure if that was voluntarily, or it might be that white is okay. The pawn on c6 is really strong. c7, I will just take. I mean, he probably won't play that move. No, doesn't do it. Get it here. And this is, oh, crazy. Yeah, I'm getting completely annihilated here. What's going on here? It's sheer luck that I'm not immediately checkmated here. Okay, I can go b4 now, right? Or is there something better? b4, bishop b2. I have pawns and I'm not mated anymore. Take a5. Yeah, come on. Let's do that. b3. I can just about stop that, but let's get this in. I want split passes. King b5, I go f3. Like a b pawn, f pawn, they're far apart. f3. Now the h pawn will do the job. Right, thanks for the game, MF Capello. It was probably completely lost for me at some point. Okay, we are pretty late in this session. Is there maybe a 1 minute challenge? I will go for 1 minute for one 1 minute game, and then I'm wrapping up. I don't want to get too much over time because we have the Norway chess coming up, and there might be need for this channel, like for some kind of preparation or so, and this is why I don't want to be on there for too long. Alright, so the bullet game, it's always difficult to do any sort of meaningful commentary for a bullet game. Probably I don't even try. I'm not sure if people do that. Does Hikaru do any commentary for his bullet games? He might be able to do that. Not so great, really. That ending is not the best that could happen here from this position. I was in pretty good shape at one point, I think, but that pawn is strong now. Yeah, and I won that one. At least this time I was fast. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the show. That was the English language Banter Blitz show. And tomorrow at the same time at 2:30 in the afternoon, Central European time, I'm going to do a German language show. I hope you'll join this again if you understand German, want to learn, or want to get confused by me speaking in a weird language. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.